real reason people stay broke or become wealthy. No budgeting tips, no side hustles, no grind harder advice. This is about how money actually responds to you. Because most people only think about money when there's a problem. Think about it. Bills, debt, pressure, shortage of any kind. And when money is always associated with crisis, your subconscious treats it like an emergency signal. That alone keeps so many people stuck. Money doesn't flow to panic. And today you're going to understand that. It flows to creation, not for crisis. Money is energy. I want you to think about this because this was an eye-opener for me. This is why we call forms of money currency, like an electrical current. It's a representation of exchange of value in the world. And energy flows to do three things: to grow, to expand, and to evolve. That's what all energy does. Money is no different. And if you don't understand that, you'll spend your entire life working harder, stressing more, and wondering why money never sticks for you. So let's get into the video. Why do most people only think about money in crisis? Think about it. No one sits down calmly and thinks, how can I create more value today? Except billionaires. They think about money when rent is due, a payment is late, a bill shows up, something breaks, AC goes out. So the subconscious links money with stress. And when something is tied to stress, your nervous system doesn't expand. It contracts. That contraction is the root of staying broke. Money doesn't move well in a crisis. And here's the part nobody explains. Money does not move well in panic because panic is a survival state. And survival thinking is reactive, not creative. Remember, money flows to creation, not crisis. If you are not building, if you are not solving, if you are not expanding, you are simply protecting. And protection doesn't create wealth. Money is energy, and this isn't a metaphor. When people hear money is energy, they assume it's some spiritual language or jargon, and it's not. It's linguistic and functional. We call it currency because it moves like a current. It's flowing, it's circulating, it's transferring all day long, just like the power lines with power. Money is just billions and hundreds of billions of dollars every day moving around all around you can't see. Energy has one purpose, and that is to move, expand, and build. Energy hates stagnation. It resists contraction. It does not grow in fear. So when you are anxious, desperate, or panicking, you are blocking flow at the source. Scarcity thinking shrinks your decisions. And this is something that can be programmed into your brain as a kid. And this is where most people miss it. When you're focused on survival, your thinking, it narrows. Your options disappear. Your time horizon shrinks. You make short-term moves. You react, you grasp, you avoid risk, you play defense. All out of fear, and defense never builds wealth. Defense preserves what already exists. Creation multiplies. Broke people ask the wrong questions, and here's why. People stuck financially ask questions like, how do I avoid losing money? How do I stop bleeding? How do I survive this month? How do I pay these bills or pay this or pay that or fix this or buy this gift or whatever? Those are panic questions. Wealthy people ask different ones. What can I build? What problem can I solve? What value can I create? What system or systems can I improve? That's not being optimistic. That's orientation. That's alignment. You are in a creative mindset, not a scarcity mindset, not a lack mindset. Creation opens flow. Money moves toward usefulness. Always has, always will. When you are building something, solving a problem, creating efficiency, offering value, you give money somewhere to go, and money loves that. Money doesn't chase effort, it follows impact. Working hard, this is one where people, working hard is not the same as creating. This is a painful truth. This whole grind mentality, this grind, wake up at 5 a.m., grind, hustle. You can work insanely hard and still be broke because effort alone doesn't create flow. Creation does. Creation requires clear thinking, emotional regulation, long-term perspective, willingness to expand, the right mindset. Panic removes all of that. You need an identity shift, not a mindset shift, but a whole identity shift that changes everything. The real shift is not strategy, it's your identity. Most people see themselves as someone managing emergencies. Prosperous people see themselves as someone creating value all the time. That identity determines how you think, how you decide, and what opportunities you even notice. You have to change your identity to meet the creation, meet the value. Money responds naturally to creators. When you create, you expand, you attract, you multiply. Money responds to that alignment. You have to get on that alignment. You have to align. And it doesn't happen overnight. And it's not going to magically happen after this video. But consistently, by making it aware, because energy always moves toward growth, you will begin to notice the way you think, how you perceive things. And don't chase money. Chasing money never works long term, and eventually it burns out. When you chase money, you're signaling lack. When you create value, you signal abundance. Money doesn't respond to desperation. That's why you never do things for the money alone. You look at the value you create. If you create value, money follows. It flows to value and creation. It responds to direction. This is the simple truth about staying broke or becoming rich that everyone overcomplicates. It's a mindset thing. It's an identity thing. You have to change the way you're programmed as a child. Money doesn't flow to panic, it flows to creation. When you stop managing emergencies and start building value, you stop chasing money, you give it somewhere to go, and when money has somewhere to go, it moves and creates. It's that simple. Really pay attention about how you think, about how your subconscious plays into your life, how growing up as a child, maybe in a scarcity mindset, how that has affected your whole life and how you think about money and how you always think about it in a contraction phase, about preserving it instead of building, instead of adding value, instead of worrying about where the next dollar comes from. You need to move from a scarcity mindset to a growth mindset. You need to move from the scarcity to abundance. Make a decision and choose the abundant decision, because that's all beliefs are. Beliefs are limited beliefs, and they are decisions that you make about that limited belief. All you have to do is change that limited belief to the other side. Your limited belief, just for example, say, is scarcity. Money is scarce. Say that's a limiting belief, because that's what it is. That's the decision you make in your head about money. On the other side, you have an abundant decision. You can easily go into your mind when that pops up, money is scarce. You can stop that decision and the emotion that it creates, the identity that it creates, and you could switch it over to an abundant belief. Just switch the decision. You can do this by doing 3 columns on a piece of paper. You can take all your limiting beliefs, everything that you are scared about, creates fear, all those things, love, money, doesn't matter. You can go down that list and you do the opposite. What is the opposite of limiting belief? You put that in the next column, and then you make that your new decision in the 3rd column. The more you practice switching your limited beliefs and writing this down on the paper, you do what's called neuropruning. And what you're doing is you're getting rid of the limited beliefs. You're training your mind to prune those neurons in your brain and your subconscious that pops up every time that limited belief shows up. You train it to go to the other belief. And then over time, that creates a new subconscious, what creates a new identity, what creates a new personality, what creates a whole new person in what you're trying to accomplish. It takes time, but you have to be aware. You have to be very observant of your thoughts. And you can do it within a couple weeks. You can really start seeing progress. That's how long it took me. It took me 3 weeks or so of really paying attention all the time to my thoughts to really start transferring the things that I had issues with and changing more to the other side and not letting them affect me or affect my emotions or affect my day or affect my weeks, my months, my years. Well, we haven't got to years, but that's how long it can happen. I mean, that's how fast it can happen. And as long as you're paying attention to it, you'll start making drastic change. That's it for this video. I hope you learned something here, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.